Good morning, Woodside Park. Good morning, good Chodesh to everyone. A new month, a new beginning. I want to share with you a brief idea. It's quite tight on time this morning, but a brief idea. We know in this week's Parsha, Parshas Kedoshim, it all discusses about the idea of loving one's neighbor as oneself. V'ahavta l'recha kamocha. I think it was Rav Shimon Bar Yochai who gave the analogy. If you're in a boat with somebody, and somebody at the other end of the boat starts to drill a hole, and you say to them, please stop drilling that hole, we're going to sink. And the person turns around to you and says, I'm not making a hole up your end, I'm making a hole up my end, therefore it doesn't affect and impact you. We would say that's quite ridiculous, because of course you're in one boat and therefore the actions of one affect the other. So it is, when it comes to loving one's neighbor as oneself, we recognize we are one entity as one people, and therefore everything affects and impacts everyone else, and therefore we have to show care and concern for other people. Similarly, we find the idea of loving one's neighbor as oneself. We find it with Jacob and the 12 stones, that initially the 12 stones were placed around his head in a dream, and we know that afterwards they became one entity. At the beginning they were fighting, each one wanted to be under his head, and at the end they were unified, and therefore there was no quarreling, because what affects one affects the other. I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it for today, but we wish everyone a good Chodesh, a wonderful month of Iyar, and look forward to seeing you back at the regular time tomorrow.